Hello, welcome everybody to DCA Week 2. My name is Colin, and we have Steven with us, and I guess we have a special friend as well. They'll pop in every so often, maybe give some feedback on our portfolio too. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's funny. What a cutie. Okay, so we're in week 2. Do you want me to start again, or do you want to switch things up and you start this time?
Sure, yeah, I can start.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so this week, obviously, we started with $1,000 last week, so there's a little bit more work to do to kind of figure out how we want to allocate it. We're going to be doing $100 now on a go forward basis every week, which doesn't give you quite as much flexibility to kind of like split between a bunch of different investments and whatnot. So I really went just to my portfolio weighting based on the different sectors. So I also took a snapshot before I did my buys here. So this is kind of just like basically a snapshot of where my portfolio was after 1 week, right before I made my DCA buy this week. And my indices, I was aiming for about 60% on my total portfolio. Just the way I did my buy last week, it was a little low compared to the desired weighting. So my goal was to try and bump that up primarily this week and then buy something else with any leftover money out of that $100. So that's what I did. I bought 3 shares of ZCN. So this is the Canadian index, the 200 or so top stocks of the TSX. So about 3 shares. Price was up a little bit from last week, but not too much. And then I only had like $16 left, and most of the investments in my portfolio are priced higher than $16. So I decided to buy 1 more share of the Ethereum ETF here. So I got 1 share at $14. Crypto had a crazy week in this last week.
It did. It was crazy. Yeah.
So this one jumped up quite a bit. If you look at my snapshot pre-buy, crypto was up. I guess this table doesn't show it, but if you look here, I'm currently up 14% on the Ethereum ETF and 20% on the Bitcoin ETF. So yeah, that's doing pretty well right now. Of course, it's super volatile. It could be like minus 50% next week, but you never know. But overall, so my total cost, it should be $1,100. So overall, I forgot what I was going to say. So the total cost should be $1,100 here, just because I do have one US ETF here, and I'm using just Google's currency converter as part of my formula. It's like 59 cents off from $1,100, just the way that it's doing the dollar conversion. But yeah, overall, so far I'm up 2.5% in 1 week, which is actually pretty good. But again, a good chunk of that came from the crypto, which is pretty volatile. And you can see it kind of brought my differential. So I was at about 55%. So I brought it up about 2.25% here. And a little bit more in line with my target weighting of my portfolio for the different sectors. With crypto being up even more now because I bought, I only had enough money for that one, but we can see week to week. Maybe if crypto's super overweighted, I could just hold off buying more and spend a little less than 100 1 week and a little more than 100 the next week, just to, so it all balances out. But yeah, that's my week here.
Nice. Good. So at the end of week 2, you're up almost $30.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Like you said, 2.5%. I mean, that's amazing for 1 week. We'll see where it goes from there. But okay.
If I could stack 2.5% a week, I'd take that.
When can we retire, Steven?
Maybe next year.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've always wanted to retire, in my early 30s. Okay. Uh, let's jump over to my portfolio and see how it did in week 2. So, okay, guys, you may remember I've split my first $1,000 into a TFSA account and a crypto only account. So we'll talk. We'll start with the TFSA. We put in a total of $800 last week, and then I put in $50 into this account, and then $50 into my crypto account. So $850 is what we're at. We're at $861, so it's a little bit higher. And the $50 I put it into XQQ. So Steven talked about this last week on week 1 of DCA, and he talked about the Nasdaq 100. So the Nasdaq 100 again is talking about the US 100 largest market capped companies. And if we dive into it, let's see if I can go in. Okay, so if we jump into the profile, this is XQQ. This is the iShares Nasdaq 100 ETF. iShares manages it. It's a BlackRock product. So from its inception, it has returned a gain of 18.71% on average. Okay, that's an annual. So 0.39 isn't the highest MER out there, but it's also not the lowest. You can find lower ones for sure. 0.2, even less than that. So it is a higher MER, but it is a very good. It is one of the choices for Nasdaq product listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And we basically went through it last week. Steven explained most of the Nasdaq 100. You can see the top 10 here. These are basically all tech stocks. Okay, everyone knows what Apple is, Microsoft, Amazon, both classes of the Google, or I guess Alphabet now, shares, and the recently renamed Facebook, Meta. Now, Broadcom is one that people know less about, at least most people I've talked to. If you look at your home, they probably make chips for your wireless devices if you were to try and find its products. But it does a lot of stuff in semiconductor, and they write software as well. But like I said, these are basically all technology companies. So yeah, that's where my $50 went. And unlike, so that's one of the advantages I talked about last week, in that Wealthsimple gives you the ability to buy fractional shares. So this is $117. I could not afford that even with my $100. So I was able to buy a fractional share, so basically almost half the share of this, and use up my full $50 instead of having to save it for next week. So that's one of the advantages of Wealthsimple. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say about this.
Yeah, the fractional shares is a really nice feature of Wealthsimple for sure. Because in my scenario where I had $16 left over and I didn't want to go buy any new shares of anything new, I just put it into crypto, even though that was already a little high in the weighting, just because that was the only thing I could buy with $16 in my portfolio. But yeah, so with the fractional shares kind of resolves that. And I think Robinhood in the States offers fractional shares as well.
Okay, very good. And because you don't have the ability to do that, I think you get a little bit more leeway to save some more cash in your investing portfolio each week, so that you can buy shares that are a little bit bigger. Of course, you probably will never be able to buy an Amazon share anytime soon, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so here we have my crypto account. So as a reminder, last week I put in $200. It didn't really move, and then it shot up, like Steven said, and recovered after a big tumble in the crypto space. So yeah, I put in $35 into BTC, into Bitcoin, and $15 into Ethereum. And as you may recall from last week's episode, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the largest and second largest market cap in the realm of crypto. They are probably the safest ones, as safe as crypto can be, anyways. At the end of week 2, ignore the $10, so subtract $10 from this. I am up a measly $36, $37. Yep. So
you're beating me by $9.
woo, that is almost a that's a happy meal there.
Maybe a couple.
No, McDonald's has gotten so expensive.
Should have bought McDonald's instead of QSR.
Maybe I should have. I used to hold McDonald's. It was a very it's one of those ones where you buy and forget it. So that will do it for week 2 of Dollar Cost Awesome. Steve and I are up, averaged about $30. No, yeah, $30. Yeah, $30. Glad we didn't lose anything after our first week, so that was pretty good. And we'll check in again next week with another $100, and we'll see where things have gone. We'll see if crypto continues its uptrend. Nothing really happened in the market as a whole this week, right? I mean, there's always something happening, but nothing major, right? It's been kind of a steady eddy. Okay. Very good. That'll do it for week 2. This is Colin.
I'm Steven.
Signing off. We'll see you in week 3 of Dollar Cost Awesome.
See ya.